Fans, welcome back to another great hour of Mountain State Wrestling action. I am the voice of tradition, Jonathan Styles, as joined by always, Stephen Hensley.
The Outlaw Rockstar, thank you very much, Styles.
A wonderful Santa hat, too. Fans, in 2 weeks, we will begin recapping the year 2010, so stay tuned for those highlight shows.
That's right, but fans, I want to inform all of you right now, in the coming weeks you're going to see something hideous and terrible, and it's a right that needs to be wrong. Andy Awesome, formerly known as the Chupacabra of Mexico, has finally taken his mask off, and that has kick-started my new campaign, Put the Mask Back On. What? Fans, I encourage you to wear a mask at the event. Champ, put the mask back on. Let's put the mask back over his ugly face so we don't have to look at it anymore.
Oh my God.
What have we got planned this morning?
Forget that. Let's see how we can get Mountain State Wrestling to come to your town. Put the mask back on.
This is Commissioner Larry Light. If you'd like to see the great TV stars of NWA Mountain State Wrestling come to your town, give us a call at area code 304-673-2054 or check us out on the web at mountainstatewrestling.com.
Let's go backstage now to get comments from Matt Conard and the legit hit, Bryan Kyle.
You know what? I woke up this morning, I got in my car, I drove to this podunk town thinking that I was actually, for once, at a Mountain State Wrestling show, going to have some competition. Well, you know what? I get here, and they tell me I'm going up against this newcomer, Matt Conard. Look, I know you're building your reputation. You've left people laying the past few weeks with your neck breaker and whatnot. But I mean, I don't know if you know me. You should definitely YouTube me, because I think if you would have YouTubed me before you came to this show this morning, you probably wouldn't have came to this show this morning. Matt Conard, whatever your name is, this morning, you're getting knocked out, and that's legit.
Fans, this is Jonathan Styles, and I have the exclusive backstage interviews here this morning. Finally, my chance to meet with Matt Conard and get some big comments out of him about his upcoming match with Bryan Kyle. Matt, I know you have to be full of comments. Go ahead. I mean, how do you feel you're taking on one member of the Gifterage, probably one of the toughest men to have the lariat here in Mountain State Wrestling? Then let's talk about the attacks on Matt Barnett and Diablo Jr. I'm sure you have plenty of things to say to both of them. Thanks for the comments, Matt. We appreciate it. Let's get back up to the arena. Oh, we got Derek Billings and Bryan Kyle out here, Steve.
That's right. 2/3 of the greatest faction in professional wrestling today, the Gifterage, gifted by God to be envied by man, are these men.
Well, and I tell you what, this is going to be a great match. Matt Conard's been on a tear as of late, and to take on somebody like the television champ, or former television champ, and half of the tag team champions, what do you?
Styles, I'm afraid I'm going to have to put on my sunglasses. I'm being blinded by the heavenly light. I said these men were gifted by God, and it holds true. Can you see the heavenly light blinding you? Oh my Lord, there's so much greatness in the ring right now.
Will you take the stuff off your nose?
It's been snowing a lot outside today.
Your head is so far up. Derek Billings' rear end, I think the beard could take the place of the hair that's missing on the mohawk.
Jonathan Styles. I always thought that your face looked strange, but now I understand. Sour grapes make the lips pucker, don't they?
No!
Hey, it's all right, my brother. But look out here, you see a physically dominant specimen in Matt Conard. And we talk a lot about how important it is to be big and athletic and mean. Or at least I do. Right. This man encompasses all of those qualities. This is going to be a very interesting contest. Usually, Bryan Kyle's in there against somebody that doesn't like to do what it takes to win a match. But Matt Conard, make no mistake about it, he's willing to do whatever it takes, not only to win a match, but to put a man down and put him down for good.
Absolutely. All right. This match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. First, accompanied to the ring by Derek Billings. He is one half of the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Tag Team Champions. From Princeton, West Virginia, weighing 225 pounds, the legit hit, Bryan Kyle. And his opponent, from Buckhannon, West Virginia, weighing 205 pounds, Matt Conard. Henry Higgins, your referee. Ding, ding.
Well, Higgins is definitely going to have his hands full this morning. Bryan Kyle starting this thing off fast and fierce, and he definitely needs to against a man like Conard. And just as quick as he started this, Conard so big, so strong, reversal of the Irish whip, shoulder block, and you see Bryan Kyle on the run to the outside of the ring, Styles.
Kyle is going to have to really stay on top of Conard. Conard has that chiseled physique out there. It's almost like you're fighting Atlas himself. I think Bryan Kyle has got his hands full, and he's going to just have to continuously mount an offense and not take a moment's break if he wants to go home victorious.
Well, if anybody can stand up next to that mountain and chop it down with the edge of his hand, it's Bryan Kyle.
Well, Bryan Kyle is no slouch when it comes to singles wrestling. He is the former television champion.
Some would say he's gifted.
Is he more gifted than the gift?
I'd say they're on the same level.
Wow, I will have to tell
gifted
that
by God to be envied by man. It's not ours to decide who's more gifted.
Moving on.
We are mere announcers. They are wrestling gods. Well, I'm not a mere announcer. I'm an announcing god. Anyway, Styles. Don't worry, I got you a Christmas present.
Oh, I can't wait to see that Christmas present.
Should help your announcing out.
Hammerlock applied, side headlock now. Bryan Kyle. And see, Bryan Kyle, I have to really question his strategy out here by just not taking Conard down and putting him down on the map permanently.
Did you say you'd have to question his strategy?
Yes.
Well, that seems appropriate for you. After all, he's in the dominant position at the moment, and being that you're such a loser, you would definitely question anything that looks like a winning strategy. But back to the action in the ring here. You see Bryan Kyle using the majority of his weight advantage to apply that full Nelson and just put as much pressure as he can on Conard's upper body. Maybe weaken it so that later in the match, if Conard does regain the advantage, he's not in as physically dominant position as he was in the opening moments of this contest.
Absolutely, and Bryan Kyle definitely taking apart one part of the body like any seasoned veteran would. And wait a minute, just like that, the strength of Conard reversing and basically dissing Bryan Kyle. And he just stares him down with that icy cold stare.
As strong and as dominant as Conard is, though, you see right here, he's a rookie. He's making a rookie mistake. He had Bryan Kyle on the run. Bryan Kyle is a skilled, and I don't think you disagree with this as much as you dislike him, a skilled and dangerous veteran of this game. And you see what happens when you let up on a man like Bryan Kyle. He's going to regain the offense.
I will admit Conard is a little green behind the gills, but I've seen many men in this company in particular that are green behind the gills that have gone on to great things. And I think it's only a matter of time before Conard wins A, the Rookie of the Year award, and B, gets some gold around his waist. And would you disagree with that, Steve?
Well, all things are possible, Styles, but you got to remember, rookies make rookie mistakes, and if you make a mistake too early in your career, you can see that career ended in an instant. If there's a guy that can take people out of this business, in a blink of an eye, it's Bryan Kyle, but Conard with a big boot, a lateral press out of nowhere, and almost walks away with the victory.
And I really thought Conard was going to put him away, and Conard just aggressively pounding away and beating Bryan Kyle like some dough.
Massive shoulder blocks in the corner, puts him down on the mat, kick to the back, applies a rear chin lock.
And now Conard slowing the pace on the match down almost to his advantage. And what does it mean when a wrestler slows that pace down, Steve? I mean,
well, it can mean a number of things. Sometimes it means that he himself needs to rest while also putting the screws to his opponent. In this case, Conard is definitely trying to wear down Bryan Kyle, but to no avail. Bryan Kyle too gifted. He's already regained the momentum. Bounds off the ropes, measures him.
Oh, wow.
Falling senton splash. Lateral press by Bryan Kyle. 1, 2. Kick out the last second by Conard.
And I tell you, Conard really better start getting something together. But it is going to be difficult being the rookie that he is. But hey, everything is possible here at Mountain State Wrestling. I mean, I'm glad to see we got some great guys in the new talent initiative, including Matt Conard.
Conard standing on wobbly legs right now. Bryan Kyle not letting up. Big forearm smash to the face. Puts him in the corner, sends him out. Reversal of the Irish whip. Conard comes off the ropes. Big body splash. Hooks him belly to belly suplex. Almost throws him through the ring too. Thank you, God.
Can you believe the strength by Conard to throw Kyle around like the rag doll?
Come on, hit.
5 minutes has elapsed in the match. 10 minutes remaining.
Giant, and we use the words, but this time quite literally a giant vertical suplex here. Conard already standing about 6'5" himself. Bryan Kyle being about 6'5" himself. That's like 12 feet. But an enziguri by Bryan Kyle turns things around in the hurry. Hooks the leg.
And I tell you what, I blame that a lot on Conard's frustration as a rookie. He didn't really take a moment to capitalize when he had the chance. And that was you were talking about earlier, Steve, about how he can just be out there.
But you see Bryan Kyle jumping off the ropes.
Oh, but nobody home. Lucky rule by Conard.
Conard looks like he may have been grazed by that blow, but Bryan Kyle definitely looks like he absorbed a lot of punishment as well. Neither man in an advantageous position at this point. Both men trying to get back up to their feet. Conard looks like he may do it first. Conard's up on his feet, but the legit hit right behind him. Measures him, misses with that shot. And Conard, series of fists to the head of Bryan Kyle, sends him out of the corner.
Well, I think the damage may have been done now. Wow, what a great clothesline by Conard. And now Conard's wrenching that neck, almost as if he was going to try to pop it off like a chestnut.
Well, it was a great clothesline, but it certainly wasn't a TYFHO clothesline. He didn't take his freaking head off.
Wait a minute, what's Derek Billings doing? Conard was going to go for his signature neck breaker.
That's right, the Hangman's neck breaker, but you see Conard, rookie mistake, goes over to Dynamite. Legit,
ropes,
come on, ropes.
Ding, ding.
Ding, it's over, and there you see your winner, the legit hit, Bryan Kyle.
Well, what's Bryan Kyle?
Like Christmas came early. God bless you, sir. God bless you. Water, of course, sir.
Water?
Most gifted water ever.
It's a replay for the cheating by Bryan Kyle putting his feet on the rope.
Sour grape Styles, your face is beginning to pucker again.
I can't believe, first of all, you got the distraction by his brother, and then you got Bryan Kyle having to use one of the oldest tricks
blah,
in the
blah,
book.
blah, 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 blah. The only thing that you need to remember at this match that matters is the man that walked away with the victory, the man that always walks away with the victory, the man who is gifted by God to be envied by man, the legit hit Bryan Kyle, walking away, head held high. Matt Conard, big, mean, angry, but he's a rookie, and this week he came up on the short end of the stick. All right, West Virginia, I know you're sitting at home and you're wondering, Outlaw Rockstar, where can we see NWA Mountain State Wrestling, the greatest wrestling action around? I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all really want to see the best, pay attention to what's coming up right now. It's the information you've been waiting for.